Hi, Zergus. Hi. Hello. Here I am. I'm here. It's Chi After Dark. Hi, Wambit. Hi, Izzy. Hi, Circus. Hello, hello. How's it going tonight? Not bad. I'm still a little achy feeling, but I feel better than I did yesterday. So I figured, well, I want to play some Town to City. So maybe I should stream tonight. Chi After Dark. Are we going DGen tonight? We're always DGen. What do you mean? What do you mean? Don't mind me, I'm just chewing my vitamins. Chewy. Fruity. Vitamin-y. Oh, what the heck? Working on some shell challenge, and I think my brain is starting to shut down from all the holiday deco. Not a big Hallmark movie person, but I will deco it up for the challenge. Let's go. I believe in you. You got this. You can do it. Meanwhile, why is this not working? Oh, that's right. I remember now. Weird. Mind America. Barrier is broken. Um. My one button on my stream deck doesn't work because it won't connect. Dreams of tomorrow. But this is the only one that has the Twitch integration stuff. I want to be able to make a marker. Ooh, excuse me. That was a gross burp. I'm so sorry. Barrator. Local host refuse to connect Twitch. Try putting the localhost in my firewall thing. Okay. We can try that, I guess. Well, that just opens up the details. Something's always broken. I feel like I fixed something last stream too. We want allow an app. Well, I don't want to allow an app. I want to add a site. Excuse me. That's not what I want. To do it in my browser, maybe? Settings. I don't know. I guess I just can't use it. I'll have to join their Discord later and see if I can fix it. Because, man, I like being able to push my little marker button and be able to make markers on stream so I can go back and make clips. And I can't do that right now because it's broken. Ready the voice. And since I don't use the Twitch thingy, I can't, like, click a button. A different button. Anyway, town to city. I'm here already. I-N. Alright, so we're going to play Town to City tonight. And then tomorrow I won't be live because I got shit to do. And then Tuesday I won't be live because I got more shit to do. Because Thursday we're hosting Thanksgiving at our house. Do, 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 do. Hubba. All right. Back to our city that we completely restarted. Uh-oh, Wookiee's coming. I heard the meow. The meow heard around the world. Oh yeah, we gotta turn on our Twitch integration. I'm just gonna go right here, right now, babe. Wookie. Meow. 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 You wanna say hi to everyone? Meow meow. Meow meow. Seeing more people play this lately and it looks kind of fun. I might have to try it. You really should. It's so cute. It's really cute and it's really fun. Alright, we have a lot of research stuff going on right now. Oh boy. Let's do this one first. And I forgot kind of where we were at here. Regular house. No house is available. Okay. Need to build. Excuse me, new neighborhood. We have our little commercial area over here. Then we started building this cute avenue, which I will probably have go here and then this way at some point. We'll see. We'll see. But I think for now, let's build a neighborhood right here. We need more houses. I'm gonna do a straight line. Oh! Hello! Hello, Fern! Hello, plants! Oh my god, we're getting watered. Oh no. Oh no, please don't water me. You're gonna get me all moist. Moist. Hello, Raiders! Hello, Fern! Thank you so much for the raid! How was your stream? Become moistened. Oh no. I'm moist. For some reason with the tilde, it makes it totally different. How was your stream, Fern? What were you playing? You're playing Goat Simulator. Let's go. That sounds fun. That sounds like fun. I'm going to... How much money do I have? Do I have enough money to copy and paste? I really want to copy and paste houses because it's so much easier. Oh. I gotta scroll this down so I can read it. It was really good, but also only so much shitting around as a goat I can do. Wait. Shitting. Okay. Well, it'd be like that, I guess. Goats only do so much in a day, I suppose. But goats are so cute. I love goats. To the beat. I have no story to be told. I guess, what do you do in Goat Simulator? I've seen it before, like other people playing it before, but... How's it sounding? It's going good. We actually, last stream, we destroyed our save file and started over. We did the unthinkable. But I learned a bunch of new stuff about the game. So I wanted to start over. So I let the community decide on how we went about doing that. And it turns out that they wanted a us to just start anew. So that's what we're doing. Oh! Ow! The cheap hire has been reset. It's true. It has. Alright, and I'll need little paths to their house. That was a nice bonking me like that. That wasn't nice. I was very careful placing a lamp. And it scared the jeebies out of me. Oh. Well, you know. It'd be like that sometimes. Right here. Here. And here. So those are all connected. Now I need to draw over here. And make it 2.5. Well, I hope your stream was a ton of fun, Fern. Thank you so much for trusting me with your community. We love having you. This rock is kind of in my way right now. Aw, thank you so much. No, you're welcome. You look cold. Oh, thank you. Christmas blankie. Do a flip. Okay, one sec. One sec. One sec. Let me pause my city. All right, one sec. I got you. I got you. You ready for this? You're not ready for this. You guys aren't ready for this. All right, ready? I gotta go over here. Ready? Woo! There you go. Flippity-doo! Whoa, sick flip. Yeah, I'm so cool. I can flip. So good. I'm just so talented, you guys. Alright, I kind of want to complete this road. Like that. And depressing. Alright, we have more points. Oh yeah, we have entertainment now. Oh, let's do extra warehouse workers. That's kind of more important. That's kind of more important. Okay, you people have a place to live now. There you go. There you go. Our butcher's maxed out. Some tres. Alright, you guys need some flowers in front of your houses. You look like you need some here too. You're looking kind of dull. You guys need more flowers. Everyone likes flowers in front of their house, right? Right? Oh, you guys never got a pathway. Sorry. I failed you. There we go. Flowers. Oh. Depends. Do they attract wasps and then hang out on my doorframe? Right? Jerks. I don't want no stinking wasps. You look like you need a tree. There you go. Alright, and then we need some lights. Maybe I should put some lights in here. Yeah, maybe I should delete the middle bush in all these and put a light there instead. That was the wrong bush. That was the wrong bush! The wasps at our apartment complex drove me batshit this fall. They were obsessed with the window and doors. Yeah, they'd be like that, huh? They're like, oh no, it's cold. Let me in. Yeah, that's cute. Alright, and then I think they need some bushes. Alright, and more people to move in. There we go. Alright. What else can we unlock? I'm not gonna bother with this right now. Let's do the barber. I'll get that in a second. Let's look at this request that we have. Holy. Town is growing. There aren't enough homes for all the new people.
No.
We don't want them to sleep outside, do we? Settle down. I'm sure the mayor will quickly build at least 10 houses.
Oh.
Regular houses? Of course not. Our mayor will also upgrade the homes to fit in even more. Okay. Jeez. Where do we want to put this development? We could build a little lake community over here around this lake. Or we can just keep going out this way. I think I'll just keep going this way. What is this? A single floor house. I don't have any of those. You can go here though. Alright, so first things first. I got that barber shop. I want to put it in here, I think. So, let's get a little wall. Because I think, if I remember, the barbershop's kind of small. Yeah, I think it'll fit in here. fit in here? No. Okay, never mind about this wall then. Goodbye. Just kidding. Yeah, that's better. Excuse you. And we can decorate this. Maybe. I can't get closer to the building. Maybe on this side. Oops. Too many. Oh, we gotta choose our cuts. Let's do a full beard and let's do the mutton chops. Sure, why not? Sounds good. Sounds good. Why not? All right, decorating. Oh no, warehouse. No worries, we have lots of spots at the warehouse still. Okay. Now, where was I? Oh yes. Put a bench back here too. I just woke up from a dream. Need some flowers on your little back window. That's cute. I wanna be next to you. Alright. That's fine for now. Look, they're using the bench. Hold you just for a moment. You could put a well right here. Or maybe over here. This might make more sense. Just kind of fill in that gap a little bit. Oh, they're the single family. Home. To me. Alright. Why are you guys sad? How do you not have food? It's right here. Interesting. Alright. So we need to expand. So I'm going to make this road bigger. I want it to eventually come through here. So we have to do like a little burnt zigzag motion. Oh, yeah, just for a while. So I think what I'll do, get our road, and I think this brush size was a 6 before. Oh, 6.5. Okay. That does not look right at all. I needed to turn my... Okay. That was wrong. I wish I could do Control Z. I wish I had Control Z in this game. Alas, I do not. Alright, so if I turn it this way, yeah, that'll look better. Like that. And then we take our eraser. Money's near the limit. Okay. Was I using the round one? I think I was. That looks wonky. I might have to manually fix that. Alright, and then I'm just gonna kinda like that. That looks pretty good. I have to fix this corner. It just looks a little goofy. Like it's not quite right. That's better. Yeah. All right. So now we can put down our houses and then we'll figure out where the crossroads are going to go. So, does it count if I copy and paste one? I don't think it does. I don't think I want to do that anyway because we need some that have only one floor. I don't want to talk about it. Alright, that's 5. Let me move this over. These ones are gonna be a little close together because I want to make sure I can get a road through the back side here. Keep on telling me I'm gonna die. Trauma. Alright, so 3, 5, 7. This can probably get a little closer. Trauma. That's a fucking lie. Huh? Talk about it. Two and a half. Yeah, that's right. I actually have to upgrade all these, so I need one that's not upgraded. Can I fit another house right here? Oh my gosh, I can. Cool. I don't want to talk about it. Alright, and then these houses, road. We'll go something like this. You're the love of my life. The rain in my life. To see you shine. There's trees in the road over here. Yeah, there are trees. Alright, now we all need to get connected up to the road with our little dirt path. With the love of my life. Alright, what do these houses need? Everything. So they reach the end. I wonder if I can connect this somehow. If that would fix the problem. Like if I do a road coming off of here to here. Did that fix anything? No, I guess not. Well, good, because it's ugly anyway and I hate it. Figure that part out later. So I guess we need to build another little area like this. So that they can be connected to more things. We still have a ton of money. I haven't upgraded those houses yet. Boy's a liar, the boy's a liar, he doesn't see it. I need bush. I need bush. And there'll be a light, and then there'll be a bush, and a bush, and then a light. Okay. Go there. There we go. I know the animals update is supposed to come out sometime this month. It is. I'm so excited. Hi, Serena. How are you? I know. I'm hoping we can get our town, like we can get through all the content we have already so that we can be ready for the update. You just woke up? Oh, good morning. Oh, good morning to you. Not sure why the random was turned off, but... Alright, and we have all these new houses we need to... That's alright. Maybe we'll like make this look like a beach over here? I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, I have to upgrade these, actually. There we go. Task complete.
Yeah, woo!
Yeah, Jacqueline. The city thanks you, Mayor, for solving the housing crisis. Eloy, I thought we were heading for disaster there. And I told you to take it easy. Our town is in safe hands. Woohoo, money. Alright, you get this house. You can get any of these houses. It doesn't matter. Alright, and now we go crazy with decorations. I've learned in this game, the best thing to do is to build, or is to decorate as you go. Otherwise, you'll get behind and overwhelmed. So that's what I've been trying to do. Can I fit a tree in there? I know. Too close together. What about a small tree? I need medium trees. Oh, that's how the random got off, because I was using that one tree. Yeah. I remember now. Alright, now we all need stuff on our houses. So here's some flowers for you. Dear Maria. And here's a tree for you, and a tree for you. Maybe a hanging basket or two. Okay, and they need a bench or something. Maybe some lights. Okay. Some trees. And you guys can have some... Wow, this is huge. Huge mungus. Missing a little pot. There we go. And a bench. Right, and then... I'm coming with you, dear Maria, come in. I actually tried to take a nap earlier and I failed miserably. I'd like start to fall asleep and then I'd wake up. It was the worst. Right. Some flowers for you. Everyone needs flowers. Alright, and they need some lights. Okay, and then what else are you guys thinking? You're missing a place to sit. And maybe a tree. Everybody needs a plant on their patio, right? All right, now I think I'm gonna put another little commercial area right here. Gonna have it come out from here. Because I think you guys need everything, yeah. Alright, let's go up here and let's unlock the bistro. And I want to unlock this. Alright. So... Cute. Right on the lake. Yes, this is gonna be so cute. I'm gonna put it like this way and then put a patio on the other side there. That'll be cute. So put it there like that. Do that. Holy labor, Batman. Alright. You guys need clothing and leisure. Everybody needs leisure, so we're just kind of slowly unlock that stuff. Oh, you gigolo. Handsome. Using for his body, yeah, yeah. Oh, you gigolo. Alright. And then, before I do the fence, let me do lights because... No, I want to do the fence first. Just kidding! It's pretty boy shit. Just like that. And then I think all I have right now are picnic tables. I don't have the cafe tables yet, so just put a couple of these in here for now. That's cute. Cute. Lots of places to live right now. Alright, what else do you guys need? There's an ad. Road upgrade, lame. I don't think that's what I want to do. Put a bench down here at the dead end. Because why not? Ads are done. Welcome back. Digging a hole. Any other stuff yet? Right. Do I want them on that side? It's weird them facing the house, I think. So I think I'm gonna put them over here, actually. Hey, look at them in there. They're so cute. Yeah, that's cute. One of these over there too. Okay. That's weird. There's a thing right here, but these aren't close to food, huh? What is this? Shared neighborhood with many folk. No problem. Alright, you guys have everything you need now? Yes. Yes, you do. You guys need leisure. If I move... that. Alright, let me get the ball throw. Put the ball throw right here. There. You guys need leisure over here. There do be a little room right here. Come down. I just need some. Ah! Eerie, thank you so much for the subby! 22 months. Thank you so much, dear. 22 mods. Yes, 22 mods. All the mods. I just need some. Do that, and then maybe we can have a little tree. There we go. Okay. Yeah. It's fine. Okay. That seems all good. Let's see what our request is. Whew. Work is done. Time for home. Worked so hard. Sure would be nice to hang out with others after hours. A lot of mods. Would be nice. No such place. Mayor create? What's happening? Why are you talking like that? Mayor create. Mayor create. Place to meet. Like park. But now with work buildings around. Enough work. Place that makes happy. Oh. What about over here? Yeah, around this lake. Place seating within the area. Picnic bench. Trees. Okay. And more fences. And we have no fences and flowers because counting the mayor's house. Tricksy I am. It's down on the floor. Alright, well first let's get a little path in here. Actually, let's make it sand. Make it sand, I'll make it go back here. And then maybe go around. My mouse got stuck. Now it looks ugly. There we go. You'll ever know. Yeah. And then looks like a little beach right there. Actually, I think if I can unlock it yet. No. Oh, almost. If we can get this one, I think this has the umbrellas in it. Yeah, sunshade. We just wait. Just a little bit. Just wait just a little bit. In your arms. Need some trees. I think instead of an actual fence, I'll just use these trees to make like a perimeter around it. Things you'd say they were never true in the games. I'll put some lily pads in the water too. Cute! And then I think these will go on the water. Yeah. So pretty. How are you, Eerie? If you're still here. Come by the door. Alright, I think we can get it now. Yeah, lots of decorations. Already over. Ooh, my goodness. I'm so cozy that I'm yawning. Alright, so we got umbrellas. It's like umbrellas on the beach. When was the last time? Oh, no. I wish I could put the sunflower on the tables. Alright. I think that's everything. Hello, I meet you. Hello, you and I talk? Talk about what? Work? Okay. You guys are silly goofies. Multiple floors. Easy. Easy. Alright. What else do we have that we haven't put down yet? Fountain. Where can we put like a little fountain plaza? Maybe I'll save the fountain for like somewhere else. We also have this guy. The Golden Crampton. He's not super gigantic. Oh, that'd be cool if we could put him like in here. I kind of want to put him in there. Or in this smaller one. Yeah, let's do it. Might still be a little crooked. That's alright. Oh, it's not terrible. That's pretty cool. You get this if you also own the Station to Station game that the developers made, which is also a really cute game. We can upgrade? But I haven't even unlocked everything in here yet. Road upgrades are icky. I'm not even gonna bother with that. I think... If I'm right, the City Hall building is giant, but it'd be cool to put it right here next to the mayor's office. So maybe I'll start prepping this over here for that. On tonight, what's up gonna say? Kiosk theater. Ooh, maybe I will tear these down and put that here instead. Yeah. Tonight, good night. Yeah, I'll put this here. Now we don't have duplicates or whatever, because the game like yells at you about that. What? Small tree. Hey, Miss Murdoch and I. Behind. That's cute. I feel like I need another tree right here. Totes adorbs. More people to move in. This thing has some pretty big reach. It reaches almost everybody. That's crazy. So are they gonna put City Hall up here by the mayor's house? Or we could put it right here. This might be a good place for it too. Get rid of this rock. Can I demolish rocks yet? I gotta unlock it. How many researchers do I have right now? Oh, I'm full up. We're full up. This street is really looking really nice. So many street lights. I might have gone overboard on the lighting. What do you guys think? Is it too much? Something. Always people moving in. Alright. Oh, it's just the stupid roads. Stupid roads! We need 100 more points. This road is not straight at all. Kinda wanna fix it. Kinda wanna fix it. Think I'm gonna. While I'm waiting for my research points. Okay. I think these will still fit in here. They won't. Well. Well, poop. That's alright. It's about the time she walked away from me. Let's optimize our lamp placement here. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, that's alright. By the clothing store. That's way over here. You can move to here. And then you can live here. And you don't give a damn. Frankly, dear, I don't give a damn. Okay, we got points now. I'm gonna unlock this because I want to see if it'll even fit in this gap. Ooh, actually, I might not have to move the rock. Just gonna move these trees. Yes! Oh, this would be so cool right next to the train station. We are building. So now we can do, what's this one? Yeah, we can adjust the taxes. Cute. Hello? Alright, we need some trees. And then maybe some bushes. Yeah, and then we'll do some flowers here. So cute. Oh, I forgot one. maybe a couple of small trees like here. Very cute. Love that, love that. Alright, we got some people we need to move in. And then we're out of houses. That's okay though. We could quickly just put some in right here. I think when I placed those one houses, the random wasn't on because I think they're all like orange. Alright, you live here. You can live wherever you want. Let me just put a road through here. Because I think that's what we'll go through here. The house. Hi, lady. Wait, what house? This one? It's lined up with this road. You're talking about this one, right? But see, this one's lined up with this road, and this one's lined up with this road. It's staying. Also, hi, lady. How are you? Oh, good. I'm glad you're good. I'm doing all right. A single floor house. I don't really have any of those left around here. Everyone's been upgraded. There's some over here. What are you guys' preferences? You don't have any. I'm moving you. You can go there. You're gonna live here. Yeah, there we go. Buckle your pants! Alright. We need some flowers. Because your front yards are boring. Just like your little pixel lives. Guys, don't forget to buckle your pants, okay? How are you doing, lady? I hope you're doing good. A buck your pants. Alright, then we can unlock the last thing here. Move rocks. I don't care about upgrading roads, because that's stupid. Okay. So that means we can upgrade. We're ready to upgrade. Here we go. We're upgrading. Upgrading! It's gonna happen! Woo! Cute! Housewares. What are you guys unhappy about? House needs. So the bistro doesn't reach over there? Oh, I see. Did you hear you say goodbye? We could put some little stalls in over here. Let's do cheese. Actually, instead of the floor paint, let's change this to like this. Say goodbye. Do the cheese and the fruit stall. One more. I like this game. I have to invest. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I love this game. I am obsessed with this game right now. It's very relaxing compared to a lot of other city builders, which is probably the best part about it. And it really makes you like slow down and focus on decorating and stuff, which is cool. Goodbye, Rock. You're in my way. Oh, I think this is not out enough. Yeah. I get a little overwhelmed with like that one city game. Yeah, like City Skylines. Yeah, I can see how that would be overwhelming for some people. It's a lot. I feel like it needs another light. Back here. Oh, we put a pumpkin. We'll put a pumpkin back here. There you go. You have a pumpkin. You love watching me play that? Aw, thank you. I actually also really enjoy watching other people play City Skylines a lot. I want to change this around. Why can't I put that in there? Alright, well, I'm just gonna get rid of the umbrella then. It's not working out the way I want. You should be able to put the umbrella on the table like the flower, but you can't. I wish we could, though. That would be cool. Okay, so there's that. And this has Twitch integration, so... There you are, lady. Oh, like you're 98% happy. You're a street vendor and you're married. And if you do exclamation point help in chat, there's commands that you can do too if you want. Oh, and there's leisure right across the street. There you go. Alright. So now we can unlock our artisan class. Which is cool. The second class of residents in your city, assign a family to an artisan house to turn them into artisan class residents. All artisan adults are available as artisan workers. As you grow your city, you will unlock commerce buildings that can only be operated by artisans. Artisans are more demanding than townsfolk. They require more luxury from commerce buildings to be happy. Artisans also become very unhappy when they do not receive enough luxury. Got it. I think we can, like, upgrade them like this. I'm afraid to, though, because I don't know if they have enough luxury yet. I feel like they don't. I feel like these houses over here have a better chance of being luxury. Like maybe these ones? Let me upgrade this one and see. Oh, there's no... That's right, we have to have... We haven't unlocked anything yet. Okay, let's go in here. So I have to unlock, like, the smithy, or the launderer, or the carpenter. Alright, let's see if we can fit a carpenter in here. I can't remember how big the building is. Oh, it's actually quite large. It's actually kind of huge. It's kind of gigantic, actually. Ooh. Put this tree over here. Put this tree back here. No, back here. Ooh, we could put him right here. Right next to Town Hall, across the street from the bistro. Yeah, dig it. Now we'll put some trees in to separate him from the train station. Ooh. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the ChiiFett. You now belong to me. You are mine. Hello. Alright. Cute. Alright, you're gonna need some light. There you go. And you know what? I don't think you would have flowers because you're a carpenter, but you might have some like plants like this. And then you probably have a light over your door here. Cute. That's cute. A single floor house. I don't have too many of those. What is your preference? You don't have one. Kicking you out. You can go live over here. You're gonna live here. There you go. And then you... I think I'm out of houses. Yeah, no available houses. Why are you guys dead? House needs. How do you have no food or leisure? There's food literally right there. There's food right there. How does it not reach you? That's crazy. I regret upgrading this house. I might have to move it. Actually, let's do that. Let's move this house. Since y'all are so unhappy. Can I move the house? No. Stop grabbing the people. I'm trying to grab the house. I'm gonna set you there for now. I'm gonna move this over here, I think. No. I'm gonna move this one over here. We're not gonna be able to get it in there now. Aha! Take that, sucker! Alright, I'm gonna put this one right here. Up! You're in the way, person! There. Maybe they'll be a little happier now. Alright. So what do you still need? You just need more luxury points. What has a lot of luxury points? One. These are all one. These are 0. 3. 3. 2. 0. Clothing store is 0. Okay. I regret upgrading this house. I might delete it. I don't think I was ready to do artisans yet. I wish you could downgrade it. I'm just gonna have to delete it and build a new house. Sorry. Sorry, people. Actually, I don't even have to do that. We can just... Boop. All of a sudden doesn't fit in here now? That's crazy. That's crazy. There we go. That's what I fucking want. Okay. It doesn't seem to be any unhappy people now. It isn't way too long. We can start on the farm town now too, which is cool. So I think I'm gonna end up building artisan stuff over here. Like I think I'll put that fountain down and make a plaza over here. And build some commercial stuff there, and then we'll put the artisan houses around that area. I think that's what I want to do. Methinks. But this is looking cute. I'm liking this. Cute picture. Say cheese. Can't like rotate really. Wish I could. I don't like the camera mode because I can't like rotate at all. It's gonna be a good aerial shot. Ooh. Oh. I'm not okay. Ooh. Oh wait, it looks so dreamy. Alright, we got some pictures. Oh no, the ads are playing. That's alright. I don't really want to get into the farming town yet. Probably save that for next stream. Whee! Da, 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 da. Alright, we're gonna find someone to raid. Hi. Who should we raid? I don't know who to raid. I know who I want to raid, but they usually have follower only mode on, which is kind of annoying. Let's see if they do today. Channel has follower or subscriber only chat. That's lame. We don't want that. Kadabra. I have people that I'm following that don't know who they are. I don't know who they are, genuine. We could raid Chrono. I haven't raided Chrono in a while. Stupid ads. All right. Maybe we'll just raid radar again. I think we'll just do that. I feel like that's the best. That's the best way to go. All right, we're gonna raid radar. If you're a subby, you're gonna use the first raid call with the Chi Pops. If you're not a subby, you're gonna use the Nemo Pops. My pop is not popping. We're gonna go say hi to Radar. Radar. They're playing Once Upon a Calamari. Ah. So see what they're up to. I will not be streaming tomorrow or Tuesday, so I won't be back till after the holiday. That's when I'll be streaming. So don't forget, I'm gonna be off for this week pretty much for the holiday. I have a lot to do around my house. I gotta cook dinner. Gotta buy a turkey. I gotta cook a turkey. Thank you. You guys all have a great day if you celebrate. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. See you later. Get the fuck out. Goodbye. Goodbye. Love you. Goodbye.